Alan, thank you so much for meeting with me today. I appreciate the time. I'm really excited that we get to sit down and I get to learn more about Manson products and the business that you guys service to. Can you tell me a little bit about who you guys are, a little history, who your customers are, and basically what you guys do as a produce wholesaler?
Sure, Josh. Manson Products has been around for about 30 years, started by my father. I took it over about 15 years ago. We have statewide distribution. We're a produce wholesaler. We sell fresh fruits and vegetables to schools, restaurants, hotels, institutions.
And what percentage of like local produce do you guys sell to? Like what do you guys carry?
I would say 30% of our inventory right now are locally grown produce.
Okay. And any specific produce is in higher demand?
Right now we sell a ton of locally grown tomatoes.
Okay.
A lot of papayas, pineapples, sweet basil, melons, kale, broccoli. So it's a wide range. Green cabbage, Chinese cabbage. So yeah, that makes up pretty much about 30% of our inventory.
Oh, that's great. And as far as the trend is eat local, farm to fork, farm to table, and we're hearing that nowadays. Are you getting a lot of calls from restaurants that say, "Hey, Alan, we want something local. What do you guys have? And what is the trend on it? What's your take on that?"
That's pretty much one of the first questions they ask me is, what items are locally grown that you carry? So I'll give them a list of everything that we carry that's local, and they'll pretty much determine their menu from that local list that I give them.
So that's a huge trend that you feel that's...
It is. It's growing. Farm to fork is growing. Okay. Every restaurant wants to do some kind of farm to fork part on their menu.
Okay. No, that's good. And as a farmer, what type of certifications would I need to get in business with Manson?
Typically, you would at least need a GAP certificate, which is a Good Agricultural Practices certificate. There's also one step above that would be a full-on food safety audit, which can take anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to conduct an audit. So the inspector will go and check your facility, check all your paperwork, your documentation. They'll check to see what kind of chemicals you're using, if they're approved, pest control, temperature control. So it's a pretty extensive audit. The state of Hawaii actually does help you
obtain that.
Obtain all the certifications.
Okay. And any other specific requirements? Let's say if a national chain wants to use my farm as to purchase produce from, or if a hospital, and any other specific requirements.
A national chain would typically send over their own QA team, quality assurance team, to inspect your farm and approve you as a supplier for that specific concept. Okay. And their guidelines are typically a little more stringent than a regular food safety audit. They're very specific as to how they approve their suppliers, and it depends on if it's a high-risk item or a low-risk item. So if it's a high-risk item, they'll be extremely stringent.
Okay.
High-risk item would be something like bean sprouts, leafy greens, something that's consumed raw. Versus something that's consumed cooked, fully cooked.
Okay. And then, what type of packaging would I need as far as delivering to Manson, or shipping products or something?
If you deliver to me, you're gonna just have to have a refrigerated truck, because when it comes to my place, we temp incoming temperature, we log it down, or I can have my trucks go to your farm and pick the product up. As far as packaging, typically for food safety, they ask for brand new boxes, not recycled boxes, with your label, farm name and label on the box. Anything that's stackable is fine.
Okay, oh, that's great. Well, I appreciate it, Alan. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy guy. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thank you.
Then Josh visited Garden and Valley Isle Seafood for advice on selling seafood.
Terrence, thanks so much for meeting with me today. Can you tell me a little bit about your company?
Sure. Garden and Valley Isle Seafood was started over 30 years ago by Bob Fram and Dave Marabella. They basically just started out of, from the back of their truck selling fish. Then, gradually throughout the years, just kept on building it. And up till now, to this point, we're on all 4 islands, Kauai, Kona, and Maui, especially, and as well as Oahu. And basically, we just buy a lot of fish from the auction. We bring in some fish from California, from Australia, all over the world, and we just distribute it.
And that's all goes straight to the auction, you guys?
No, actually, we buy our local fish from the auction. Okay. That's all the fish that's longline caught.
Okay.
We bring in some salmon from the West Coast. We bring in snappers from anywhere from Fiji down to Australia and then even Indonesia. Mahi-mai comes from all over the world. As long as we can get wherever we can get fish, we try to bring it in here and distribute it out to either retailers. The fish that are caught over here, we most likely will sell it out to wholesalers on the mainland, and then we sell to restaurants on the mainland and as well as Oahu.
Oh, so you guys have a lot of customers then?
Not bad, pretty good, yeah.
Oh. And as far as for like locally farmed seafood, locally farmed aquaculture, can you comment on that as far as what's your guys' involvement and how do you guys help with that?
Well, yeah, we really try to buy as much as we can that we can sell. The 3 items that right off the top of my head that I can think of is the Kampachi, of course. They've been around since I think maybe 2005, 2006, and they've done a really good job of marketing their product. It makes it really easy for us to sell. So we sell that. There is the Kahuku Ogo, that the Kahuku Ogo farms that also do sea asparagus. They've done a great job marketing their product as well. Once in a while, we'll sell some abalones that's raised from the Big Island. And then finally, the biggest ones right now is the Kauai shrimp. Yep.
So those are the more popular?
Those are, yes. Kauai shrimp is by far gaining the most ground, especially on the mainland. Anything with the word Kauai or even Hawaii in it, and it's a shrimp. It's a whole head-on shrimp. It's just really very popular. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. As far as for local distributors and local farmers, when they bring their produce here, when they bring their fish here to your company, is there a way that so you advise us to package it or to deliver it?
Definitely, you want to deliver it in a sanitary, either a cooler or some kind of box. Make sure there's ice in it. Ice is really important. We are a federally certified plant that requires fish that's being received to be under 40 degrees. So you cannot bring it over here without any ice and it's warm. You want to keep it covered because you don't want to expose it to the sun. Because sun-dried fish is not nice. But other than that, just make sure your containers are clean and your fish is cold and good to go.
So Terrence, what's your opinion on locally farmed tilapia?
I like the idea. I think it has a really good potential. It's a product that we can raise locally that's sustainable.
Any other advice as a local farmer that you would give?
Well, just like any other aquaculture product, you want to make sure that your sizing is uniform as much as possible. You want to make sure that your fish that you bring in, you don't bring in anywhere from a half a pound fish to a 2 pound fish and just dump it all on their laps and say, okay, you guys have to deal with this. I want X amount.
Yeah, that makes sense because as a wholesaler, you're like, okay, I got so many man hours and I gotta weigh the fish and divide it. So that makes sense. Right.
And our main goal, especially in seafood, because it's very, very perishable, is to get the product in and out as soon as possible. You don't want to sit on it and because you have to sort it. Salespeople will look at it and going, oh man, that's a mess. I don't even want to go through that thing. They just want to go, oh wow, that's beautiful. Look at all that fish. It's all uniform size. Get on the phone and call the chef and say, hey, I can get you. Instead of Thai snapper, how about some locally grown sunfish?
Something else. Yeah. Well, that's great. Right. Yeah. Thanks, Terrence. I appreciate all this advice that you've given me. Sure, we can do some business in the future together.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks for watching this movie. It's been funded by the USDA's Agriculture Marketing Services Federal State Marketing Improvement Program and the Hawaii Department of Agriculture. The information in this movie is for the viewer's reference only. The Hawaii Department of Agriculture does not guarantee its full accuracy. A new farmer should do his own due diligence before starting a farm. You know, we really do encourage entrepreneurs and investors to start new farming businesses in Hawaii. So hey, give Liz a call. The number's given on the screen. She will help you out.